You're going to have to, you check inside the lungs. It does a tremendous number on the lungs. A tremendous number, really. It's like maybe 3 or 4, the number that it does to the lungs. We're going to...
Mr. Trump, is there anything we could inject into the lungs to make it better? I don't know. Is there
people are telling me we should probably try Tide Pods. People are telling me bleach. People are saying disinfectants of various sorts, probably.
I've heard disinfectants in less than a minute. Is that correct? Is that what you're hearing?
99.9% of all germs disinfectants kill. So I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Maybe we could get one of these medical doctors to come on and show us what the effects of eating bleach and Tide Pods would do to the human body. I know it's... just try it. Hydroxychloroquine didn't work. We're going to try something new. We're going to try bleach, enemas. We're going to try it all. We're going to try it all. All right, what are we doing? Let's do this shit on air.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we are live.
Well, hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu, alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. You know, turns out, I don't know about you. Have you stepped on a scale since quarantine?
Yes, I have. And... quarantine has done a tremendous amount to my weight. It's done quite a number. All the numbers, really.
All of them. So, speaking for myself, I have not stepped on a scale, just for fear of numbers.
I fear the numbers. We're not sure what numbers we're going to see.
Yeah, wait, it might be a 2. It could be there's definitely a 2. I don't know what comes
for
after that.
Sure, a 2.
There's definitely a 2, maybe a 5. I don't know.
Oh, no.
But I found out the hard way that maybe either I've gained some weight or I'm just tremendously out of shape. Because yesterday morning,
both could be true.
Both, yeah, exactly. Both could absolutely be true. Yesterday morning, I ran out to get some things from the grocery, and as I hopped in my car, I don't know what happened. The way I sat in my car, I guess my foot was maybe turned the wrong way, or I don't know what happened. But as I sat down, I basically tore ligaments in my knee.
Oh my God.
Just like immediately, I'm like, oh shit! Like I can't move my knee. So I have been on doses of Advil and Tylenol back and forth for like the last 12 hours, I would say. Or no, 24 hours, I would say. And it just really goes to show you that, I probably, need more exercise and probably should lose some weight as well, because my body's just, I can't even sit in my car without, tearing ligaments at this point, which is, not ideal.
Wow, that is something for sure. Yeah. I've gone up for sure a couple pounds. The height of my weight gain on quarantine was, I think, 6 pounds.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm back down to like 3 pounds. So that's
braggart.
That's why you have to step on the scale though, because otherwise I would have just kept going.
That's, you know what, you got a fair point there, but
I would have just kept going, and I'd been like, oh, this is great. Just more Doritos, please.
What's your Dorito choice of preference?
If I use Doritos in that example, however, I am actually not a huge Dorito fan.
Really?
Yeah, but if I'm going to go with Doritos, it's going to be Cool Ranch.
Do you guys have like a plethora of flavor options down there in the U.S.? Like here in Canada,
yeah, we're flavor fiends down here.
Okay, I figured as much, but I'm a big fan of the jalapeno cheddar. I don't know if you guys have those. Those are
yeah, I think we have those.
Those are quite the delight.
It's quite delightful. Yeah, what is your so like? Here's the problem. This is why I have gained weight. It's really my wife's fault, quite honestly.
Oh no, it's my wife's fault too. I completely agree.
And here's why. When she's a snacker, right? So like she has to eat 3 meals a day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She'll be snacking in between, and then what happens? Like I don't usually eat like that. Maybe I'll eat breakfast or like I'll have coffee, and then I eat like typically 1 meal a day. And now I've upped it from 1 to 3. and the other problem is now that I'm eating more meals, I eat like whatever she doesn't eat on her plate.
Absolutely.
So like I get it's really just like 6x what I normally eat. That's the problem. And I eat a lot to begin with.
Right. No, I hear you. I'm the same. I'm literally the same way. If I was a single guy, I'd probably eat like maybe 1 to 2 meals a day at the most. Like I don't go searching for food typically. But my wife, which is extremely upsetting because she's also a snacker. But on top of that, she has this like thyroid issue where she doesn't gain any weight, like at all.
Must be nice.
It's thoroughly upsetting. Like she loves baked goods. Like I'm going to bakery. I used to go to bakeries all the time. Like I knew all the bakeries in like a 50-mile radius and all the best ones. I mean, I've gained. I guarantee you, I've gained since knowing her. She has consistently been, within 5 pounds of the same weight, for the last 18 years. I guarantee you I have gained 50 pounds.
Wow.
From 18 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very upsetting. And she just walks around like it's no big deal.
I've gained that much from 18 years ago. I used to wrestle in high school.
Oh, really? I could see that. I could see that for sure.
Senior year of high school, I wrestled 130.
What? I was born 130. I couldn't tell you 130. I couldn't tell you the last time I was 130.
I mean, I can. I was senior year of high school.
Jesus, that's nice. That's a nice weight.
What else is going on? Anything else you got going on since the last time we spoke?
I gotta tell you, I spent. I don't know. I complained about it a little bit to you yesterday, but I spent at least 12 to 14 hours yesterday on Twitter, like Jon Snow, defending my tweet. I put out one
the Kobe Shaq tweet.
Yeah, all by myself. Battle of the Bastards.
So this is what I was going to call you out on. I said,
"Oh, were you?"
So you clearly in cowardice did not put up our poll.
Not cowardice. No sense in getting a bad read on situation when these people don't know anything about basketball. All right. Now, if I was polling,
all right, keep going.
If I was polling basketball professionals, whether they be people that beat writers or actual NBA players, I would absolutely put out a poll. People
Not
that
a bunch
know
of
basketball.
beat off writers.
Pardon me. Yeah,
Not a bunch of beat off writers.
Yeah, a bunch of beat off writers. If I was talking to people that understood basketball to the level that I understand basketball, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I'm not sending out a poll with a bunch of horned up Jordan fans that just watched The Last Dance.
So are we saying then that I'm going to win that draft? Is that what's happening here?
Oh, after yesterday's debacle, I haven't put out that poll, which I should. You're right, but I know I'm 100% going to lose it.
That's the poll.
Sorry, I thought you meant a poll of like. Oh, okay, sorry. Yes, no, that was just I was wrapped up in another
I figured you didn't put it up because of the tongue lashing you were getting.
I'll put it up today. But yeah,
I mean, you kind of already know what the results are going to be.
I know what the results are going to be. Bunch of homers. But
that's the poll I was talking about.
all day I was just beating away, shitty arguments upon shitty arguments.
All right, what's the best and worst one you heard?
Wow, the worst one is just basically you could put Jordan. Like the worst one, the one that infuriates me is like, oh, you can just take Jordan and whatever like top 50 player at the time, and they're going to win championships. I'm like, okay, Jordan is good.
I mean, LeBron does it.
Not win champion. Like, he definitely needed other guys to win championships. Like, he didn't win his first championship until he teamed up with Bosch and Wade.
Yeah, but then after that, who did he win with?
Kyrie and Kevin Love. I mean, those are...
So, yeah, okay.
You know, he definitely didn't win championships all by himself. And I could also argue that LeBron's better than Jordan.
I think that's the argument, right? It's not. It's not even a Kobe Jordan anymore. It's a LeBron Jordan.
And yesterday was not me saying Kobe Jordan. It was saying Kobe Bryant and Shaq in their prime, in the three-peat years, could beat the Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan three-peat years. And I mean, everybody would just say, "Oh, it's Jordan." Like, everybody's just hanging on the Jordan Hanes boxer shorts. Like, it was crazy. Like, nobody even. It was basically like I was talking insanity. Like, it wasn't even a conversation. And when you start talking like that to me says a lot of things. It means you don't actually watch basketball. You just love Michael Jordan, which is fine. Just don't argue with me when you don't know what you're talking about. I think is the pull from this.
I've never seen you quite so.
I was on fire
incensed.
all day yesterday. All day. So the argument of Jordan and literally anybody else could just keep winning.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can argue that Scottie Pippen is. That's the thing, right? Like, you can't do Jordan without Pippen, really.
No, totally. And I mean...
And that's the thing that people, I think, sometimes underestimate how good Scottie Pippen really
absolutely
was.
Scottie Pippen was a terrific basketball player.
Also criminally underpaid.
Absolutely criminally underplayed. There's a great story I was reading about when Tony Kukoc was going to come over from Australia, and how they didn't want to pay Scottie Pippen and want to give Tony Kukoc a lot of that money, and then they ended up playing each other in the Olympics, and apparently Scottie Pippen just destroyed Kukoc.
Nice.
But any basketball fan will tell you Scottie Pippen is not an A-level all-time, you know what I mean, basketball player.
I don't know. I've seen some stuff that calls him top 50 all time.
Yeah, but top 50 all time isn't like tier A, is what I'm saying. Like, tier A is your Magic Johnsons, your LeBron, your Jordan, your Kobe, your Shaq.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm thinking all time, though. Like, 50 is pretty good.
50 is great, but you can't argue that Kobe and Shaq are at least in the top 10 all time.
Each, you mean?
Each individually. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got two top 10 all time versus a top 50, which I agree. I would almost argue top 25 all time for Scottie Pippen. I'm being nice about it. But top 25 ain't top 10. I don't know.
Are we a crypto podcast?
I don't even know anymore.
Speaking of sports, though, I have a good story.
Yeah.
So yesterday
was a big day, I heard.
Big day. I'm not sure how you heard.
I'm aware of things. I'm aware.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure how you heard because I don't know if I told you.
Oh, okay. So maybe we're not talking about the same thing.
I'm not sure. Well, what did maybe I did tell you? I don't know. What do you think I'm talking about?
I thought there was a NFL draft yesterday.
Oh, there was the NFL draft yesterday.
Oh, that's not what you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about something different. Okay. So, you know how I've been into like the sports memorabilia and all that kind of stuff? I won myself for $100. This is what it cost me.
Uh-huh.
I won myself a 1948 Babe Ruth signed baseball.
What?
Yeah.
Like from the Sandlot?
Yeah, like literally exactly from the Sandlot. And it's probably serious? One of the last things that he signed before he died, because Babe Ruth died in 1948.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes. It was
That's awesome. A big day.
Huge day. And so the story is just insane. Like, so the way it works is it's kind of like a raffle. And somebody puts up like, okay, there's going to be 10 spots in this raffle for X amount of dollars per spot, right? Mm-hmm. So the original raffle was 10 spots at $900, right? Meaning that the item is worth in this raffle $9,000, right? So if that raffle, those main spots don't fill, they start running these like mini raffles to fill the main spots. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I've been eyeing this thing all week, and I'm like, man, this is just out of my price range to just take a raffle ticket. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm never gonna win. It's not worth it. The guy actually messaged me, and he's like, hey, I saw that you liked the post. There's one spot left in the last mini raffle, and then we're full. Are you interested in the spot? I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. So I bought the spot for $100, and I won the mini raffle. So that got me one spot in the main raffle, right?
Okay.
So now I have a 1 in 10 chance of winning, and
which is pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take that all day. And it was kind of like, you got to pick your spot. So like spot number 1 was open and spot number 5 was open. And I just, with no context, turned to my wife and I just go 1 or 5. And she goes, 5. And I'm like, all right, 5 it is. And 5 came up. I won it. I was fucking flipping out. And like, I still quite honestly have not come down off of my adrenaline
I
rush.
wouldn't have slept last night.
It's been a good couple days. So, that I'm actually, so the guy's got it. Like normally when you win something like that, they ship it to you, but this is obviously a ridiculous item and I would be afraid. So the guy actually offered, he lives in Columbus, which is like 6.5 hours away.
Like a meet halfway?
Yes, exactly. So tomorrow morning I'm going to drive and meet this guy for a back alley Babe Ruth deal.
That's crazy. That's a life keeper, right? Like
100%. Like people were immediately in my DMs trying to buy it off me or trade it for something.
Right.
And like for me, I'm a Yankee fan, so obviously Babe Ruth is a big deal, and it's like a once in a generation type item. Like it's something that I would probably pass on to my grandkids. And
right. No, absolutely.
Will be worth, a lot of money. I actually think it's undervalued what that raffle was, because I was just looking up Babe Ruth signed baseballs after. There's like $25,000, $50,000, $15,000. This thing's probably worth a little more than that original price. So that was my day yesterday. I'm going to send you. I'll send you right now just so you have it, because I can't believe I didn't tell you this yesterday.
No, you definitely did.
It happened at like dinner time, and then I had to do some other stuff, so like I couldn't really gather my thoughts. Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Bambino.
Pretty cool.
I was watching that last night too.
So those are my happenings, and I guess your happenings. So you had a bad sports experience.
Bad sports day yesterday.
I had a good one, but I guess with that, let's get to the news. All right, you've got 2 stories. I've got 2 stories. Let's go.
All right. So first story off the hop. Crypto-friendly signature banks net income falls 30% in Q1 of 2020. So crypto-friendly signature bank. I don't know. Are you familiar with signature bank?
I'm not, but I'm sure you're going to tell me about it.
They reported a 30% drop in its net income for the first quarter of 2020 as compared to the first quarter of 2019. The Q1 2020 net income stood at just under $100 million, as compared to $143.5 million in Q1 of 2019, according to financial results published on Thursday.
So this seems like it's their total. It's not just their crypto.
Correct.
Portion of their business.
Yeah, exactly. Overall business. Signature Bank said the drop in net income is due to an increase in the provisions for credit losses, which is just over $60 million. The provision for the losses was, quote, wholly attributable to COVID-19, said the bank.
Wholly attributable.
Wholly. Signature Bank's earnings per share for Q1 of 2020 also came in lower at $1.88. Where at $2.18 in Q1 of 2019. So a big difference there. On a positive side, Signature Bank's net interest income for Q1 of 2020 increased by 9.2% at $348.3 million as compared to the first quarter of 2019. Quote, the increase is primarily due to the growth in average interest earning assets, said the bank. So a lot of the assets were earning interest, and that's where the growth came from. The New York City-based bank deposits also grew by 15% to $42.24 billion in Q1 of 2020 as compared to Q1 of 2019, while average deposits grew by $1.1 billion in Q1 of 2020. Quote, this was the second best quarter of deposit growth ever reported, said Joseph DePaulo, president and CEO of Signature Bank.
I thought you were going to say Joseph Deposit. Like, what a great banker name.
Joey Depot.
Hey, I'm fucking Joey Deposits here. New York Signature Bank.
And pardon if you hear any loud banging coming from my microphone. My daughters are learning to skip rope on the floor above me, directly above my head. So apologies for any background noise there. Quote, moreover, this is now the third quarter in a row of over $1 billion in deposits in both total and average deposit growth. Since the end of 2019, first quarter deposits have increased $5.6 billion and average deposits have increased $4.7 billion, DePaulo added. Joey Deposit added. Looking at the bank's lending business, loans during Q1 of 2020 increased 5% to $41 billion as compared to 2019.
Wait, it doesn't sound like they're doing bad. That article.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're complaining about.
The article headline sounded like they were going to be, hurting.
So there's some positive stuff, but overall the net income falls below 30% in Q1, but they may have a stellar Q1 in 2019. Which
we never seen deposits so big.
So they look again 30% on including a COVID disaster. Not awful. We're seeing far greater than that in a lot of other places. So.
I've got one here from our good friends at Coinbase.
Ooh.
Yes. So Coinbase launches a price oracle as it widens its focus on the DeFi space. So cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has released its own price oracle in an effort to improve the resiliency of the price feed process. An oracle is a third. I was going to ask you, do you know what an oracle is?
Yes, my grandmother used to use an oracle all the time. You go in, you pay the money, they tell you some bullshit about your future, so on and so forth. Correct?
Hello, I am the Coinbase oracle. Buy now.
I remember him very well. He had a crystal ball.
DeFi.
He had a big old hat, a Fu Manchu beard.
Looked a lot like Sinbad in that genie movie.
I didn't want to say it, but bingo, that's exactly it.
An oracle, wrong, is a third-party price feed that provides real-world data to a decentralized network. Right now, almost all open finance or DeFi platforms rely on price oracles to offer services like lending, margin trading, and derivatives. Uniswap and Keeper both have oracles that are widely used. However, this price feed process has been long criticized for being maintained by a centralized entity. So, okay, if it's DeFi, why are you using a centralized oracle, I guess is the argument, right? It also introduces risk since the smart contract cannot verify the accuracy of the data. In a recent high-profile case, DeFi lending protocol BZX, which utilizes Kyber's price feed, suffered an oracle attack that resulted in a loss of 2,388 Ethereum. Oh,
ooh,
that's a lot of Ethereum.
The Oracle should have really saw that coming.
The Oracle totally should have saw that coming. Coinbase on Thursday launched Coinbase Oracle, a signed price feed allowing anyone to publish price data on chain. The data is sourced from the Coinbase Pro API and gets updated every minute. Users can leverage the Coinbase Oracle API to obtain signed price data for both BTC USD and ETH USD markets. According to the announcement, getting data from an off-chain source, like an exchange, usually requires users to trust that publisher is posting the right prices and that the signing key is uncompromised, which historically has proven to be a difficult problem, especially when the stakes are high. So, pretty interesting here. I'm not sure what it means, quite honestly. Is it a good thing? How into this DeFi stuff are you?
Not very, but let me look into my crystal ball. I'll tell you if it's bad or not.
What does it say?
I have no idea.
Kobe and Shaq are the best.
Yeah, COVID will kill us all. Oh, that's dark. Dark crystal ball.
Dark Oracle.
Dark.
Hashtag Dark Oracle is the hashtag for the day.
All right, I like it.
Oh, my God. All right, you got one more?
I do have one more. BitMEX is launching new ETH USD futures, which will be settled in Bitcoin, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if you use any sort of like trading platforms, but typically you get settled in the currency that you're trading in. So it's strange that you're going to get settled in Bitcoin in this one, but I'll take Bitcoin. That's fine. Crypto derivatives exchange BitMEX is launching new ETH USD futures contracts starting on May the 5th. The new contracts, ETH USD, allows traders to speculate on the future USD price of ETH. Traders who think that the price of ETH will rise will buy futures contracts, while those who believe the price will drop will sell it. Pretty straightforward. The new contracts offer leverage up to 50x and require margin to be posted in Bitcoin. It means traders can go long or short on these contracts using only BTC. I see. So that's what you're betting on. That makes more sense then. The futures have been fixed Bitcoin multiplier of 0.00001 Bitcoin per one USD, meaning for each USD move, the contract pays out 0.0001 Bitcoin regardless of the USD price of ETH. This allows traders to go long or short ETH USD exchange rate without ever touching ETH or USD. The first ETH USD contract will expire in June. Notably, BitMEX already offers ETH perpetual contracts and ETH future contracts. The former have no settlement, being perpetual, while the latter allows traders to speculate on the future value of the Ether Bitcoin exchange rate rather than the Ether USD exchange rate. The launch of the new contract comes at a time when BitMEX is facing significant liquidations since the, quote, Black Thursday event, which saw Bitcoin's price tank by roughly 50% in just one day in mid-March. That's what we're calling it. I've heard it before. Yeah, Black Thursday. Which, hey, that's cool. One more thing to talk about on the REKT podcast.
Thursdays?
Yeah. Thursdays? Is that what you said?
Thursdays, yes.
I like it. Yeah.
Thursdays, yes.
Black Thursdays.
So basically, you're able to stake your BTC
on the future price of USD of ETH USD.
Correct.
Not the B. Not
which is
BTC.
why it's settled in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know if I'd mess around with that, but
are you a mexer at all? Have you ever mexed?
I've dabbled. I like using. I don't know. I like using Bitfinex a little bit more.
Yeah, I used to use Bitfinex a lot. I've used Bybit. I've really never dabbled on BitMEX just because they're very strict about U.S. customers.
Right.
So, like, if I'm take a road trip to Canada, I'm afraid that I will mess that up and suddenly and suddenly be back in Pennsylvania, and,
right.
They'll cut my road trip short.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear ya.
Yeah.
Be like, officer, I have a Babe Ruth baseball.
I've got one more here, and it's an opinion piece here. It's from the Block Crypto. Is the Bitcoin halving priced in? The pandemic complicates things, says GSR's Rich Rosenblum. It's the question every Bitcoin investor's mind. When the mining reward is cut in half next month, will the cryptocurrency's price rally as it has after previous halvings, or is it already priced in? If Bitcoin were an efficient market, it would probably be priced in, according to GSR Trading co-founder Rich Rosenblum, who appeared on the latest episode of The Scoop. Quote, I think we still have a bit of a disjointed market in crypto, and in the middle of a unique event, the pandemic, he said, due largely to the drop in price thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, I think it's not totally priced in. Interesting. So he says, given the fact that we were so much higher a couple months ago, and the amount of selling each day from the mining rewards is going to drop in half, I think there's more upside probability in the next few months than downside, he says. What do you think?
I mean, if it wasn't priced in all the other halvings, why would it be priced in this halving, I guess would be the question.
Well, potentially because just of, more eyes on Bitcoin, I guess, right? Like more money in it.
Do you see do you see the participation on my tweets? There's not a lot of eyes on Bitcoin right now. It's a direct correlation.
You think that's the issue, huh?
Yeah. I'm just looking at my Oracle right now, and it's telling me the future's not very bright.
I mean, we haven't even talked about this yet, though. So since our last episode, we're up about $500-$600.
Yeah, we had a nice rally.
I bought live on the show, and that worked out. So
it did work out.
I mean, it was only $60 worth. I wish I had deployed the whole stack. Now I'm sitting here with a stack in my Cash App, but right now we're sitting at $7,492, 6.6% increase this week. Ethereum 187, which is a 9.65% increase. XRP up 3%. Bitcoin Cash up 2.5%, Bitcoin SV up 1%. That's your top five.
Interesting.
Cardano up 25%.
Fucking Cardano.
Tezos up 28%.
Yeah, Tezos was making a move. I saw that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know. I don't think it's priced in currently.
But you've been on the train that You've been on the train that it'll take a while after to.
Yeah, I don't think whatever.
You don't think it's going to pump on the way up to the halving. You think it's going to be months after.
I mean, there might be a slight pump. Like, it wouldn't shock me if climbing up to the halving, we saw, I don't know, even in the $8,000 range. And then maybe there's a sell-off shortly thereafter, back down to kind of maybe where we are now. But I think we'll see a slow rise, over the next 6 to 18 months after. And
I mean, where are we going? What do you think?
What's the top number? Another bull run, top number. I think. Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
Yep.
I think $150,000 Bitcoin.
Shut the front
at the
door.
top
Get
of the next bull run.
here.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I'm saying it. $150,000.
No,
that's the top of the next bull.
No.
You don't think there's a crazy podcaster saying 20K back in 2015? Like, we're at $1,000 right now. I say the top of the bull is going to be 20K. It's the same reaction, I think.
Oof, I don't know, man. All right. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Ass Monster's the only one that knows my dark secrets.
I don't even know what that means.
He's our new patron, remember?
Yes, but what does that have to do with your
He's the only one listening, so he's the only one that can call me out on
that's
this.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So he's the only one listening.
All five of our listeners.
Right. So, I mean, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. No one's, there's only 5 people listening, so it's all right.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway. All right. That's going to do it for the news. We've got, what else do we have here? We're going to talk about Chamber, you're going to talk about your best and worst things in quarantine?
Yeah, I think we should. You know, we've been into quarantine now for what? I don't even know anymore. 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's over. It's over a month for sure.
Right?
We're probably pushing 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we've, at the very start, everybody was kind of like, hey, we're working from home, we're binging Netflix, we're eating fucking bonbons,
Big bonbon guy over there.
Yeah, not a big bonbon guy actually. No. But now that we've been in the shit for a good amount of time, I would say. There's some realities that have set in. We've talked about eating and weight distribution, blown knees, just getting into cars. It's bad news, but I feel we should take time to reflect on some of the best things about being in quarantine and some of the worst things.
What do you got for us?
I think right off the bat, and maybe it's a curse and a blessing at the same time, but the fact that I'm basically wearing a tracksuit most days, like
Joey Deposits,
goes into work every single day with his crushed velvet Puma tracksuit.
Hey, give me your money! Yeah.
I haven't worn dress pants or a tucked in shirt in this amount of time for sure. I think it's fancy when I put jeans on now.
So do I.
Yeah, I think jeans are now fancy pants.
I can't even tell you the last time I wore a pair of pants with a zipper or a button.
Now, the benefit here is I've actually found sweatpants that I really like. You can actually get like designer sweatpants or, fashionable sweatpants, which I've really dove into significantly over the last couple of weeks.
Now, like, what do they look like?
They're tapered.
They look like tuxedo.
Yeah, they like a slim fit sweatpant.
Yes, I have a pair or two of those. Yes,
these things are my absolute favorite.
The athletic looking ones.
Exactly. Tapered at the very bottom. You put some sneakers on. You don't look too awful.
Right.
Not your dad's sweatpants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
would require me having to have my dad's sweatpants.
Yeah, exactly. Not your dad's sweatpants.
Like, where would you get my dad's sweatpants?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where.
I don't think my dad owns a pair of sweatpants.
Good
quite
for
honestly.
You. I remember my dad absolutely. My dad is a sweatpants wearer for sure.
No, my dad is one of those guys that he even when he comes home from work, he doesn't change out of his work clothes till he goes to bed.
Oh, I'd kill. Oh, that's nice. No, my dad. Since I've been 10 years old, I've been telling my dad how to dress. And for 27 years, he has not been listening. I buy him clothes at Christmas. I buy him clothes. I'm telling you, I hope he's not listening to this one because I'm going to tell a funny story. My favorite.
Odds are he's not.
Definitely not. He definitely listened to one episode he liked, but my gut's telling me he's definitely not listened to another episode since then. One Christmas, I bought him a button-down shirt and sweater combo.
Okay. Very nice.
Very nice. It was very nice. It was a good look at the time. This is probably going back, I don't know, 10 years or so, 8-10 years. So at the time, you get your button down, you put your sweater over, the collar's popped on the top. It's a nice dad look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very, very, very sharp look.
Vintage dad look.
Right, exactly.
Bend you over your knee, you're getting a spanking dad look.
Exactly. Firm but fair. You know what I mean?
Right. Grab your arm in public when you're acting out dad look.
Right, exactly. Ow!
But also might go have a couple drinks with the boys later.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And he's got a great portfolio.
Oh, he's got a portfolio. And he's not afraid to talk about it.
No, exactly. Exactly.
So, we have our Christmas.
Bought oil at negative.
Exactly. Yeah. So Christmas happens, whatever. We we have our dinner, we have our drinks, we go to bed. I wake up the next morning, and I'm a typically an early riser, and my dad is also an early riser. So I get out. I was staying in the spare bedroom in the basement with my wife, and I let her sleep. I crawl up the stairs, get some coffee, and I see him, and he's wearing my gift.
Early in the morning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Got out of bed. He's like, how do you like it? And I look at him. I'm like, Dad, you're wearing it backwards. He had put on the sweater first, and then open, like not button down, open button, shirt over the top. Okay, so your button down is now just a straight open shirt, and it's put over the sweater. And I looked at him, and my dad has a temper. And when he's embarrassed is when the temper gets the worst. And he embarrasses himself a lot, I'm going to be honest. And when I laugh, like, you know me, I'm a laugher. Right. And apparently my laugh is his kryptonite, because anytime that I'm laughing at him, it destroys him. And I stop, and I'm like, I can't be the only one to see this. I can't be the only one.
Oh, no.
I said, I need to keep it together so I can go back downstairs, wake up Amber, and make her see this, because there's nobody that's going to love it more than my wife. Or at least, so I go downstairs. I said, okay, go upstairs and get a coffee, and you tell me, tell me what you think. And I mean, it's still one of the funniest things we talk about to this day. Like, she went upstairs, came back down. I think we cried, laughed in the spare bedroom for 15 minutes, and then went up and told him, like, yeah, Dad, I think you're supposed to, And he was very embarrassed about it, but it was funny. And you know what? We all do embarrassing things, so it's still fun to laugh.
And he never wore clothes again.
And he never did. But that's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite moments. Trying to dress my dad up.
That's so good.
But so besides clothes, I would say, I don't know about you, but yeah, like we talked about, like just being able to clean up everything.
I rearranged my office yesterday. That was nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I did.
But that's really like the only cleaning that we've done.
Really?
Yeah.
So the house is pretty clean, but I gotta tell you, it is depressing. Like, I feel bad for my kids, like not being able to play outside all that much. Like, I have a kid not going to school. Like, she's not hanging out with anybody. Like, she just sees her meathead of a dad and her nice mom most days.
And his fancy sweatpants.
And those fancy sweatpants. Yeah, exactly. I popped these right out of the dryer. I feel good today. But yeah, no, it's like, what are some of the things you're not liking? Like, is there anything?
Not liking? Dude, I've told you, I'm loving this. I want to just quit my job after this and figure out how I can live this way all the time.
But aren't you miss maybe going to a restaurant, or maybe going?
Sure, that stuff, obviously. Like, of course, I want to be out and about, as in, like, okay, I want to be able to go out and eat, or go have a drink somewhere. But, like, I think the biggest thing for me is, me, I was traveling three times a week for work, and it's a lot. And like, I would do this show on the road,
absolutely, and
it's a lot. And I was like, so now I'm like, fuck that, like, I don't want to do that anymore. So after this, so I'm like, okay, how can I figure out how to not
do that anymore?
I mean?
I hear you.
So it's actually been pretty good. One of the things that I'm afraid that I'm never going back on is I've turned my wife into a video game junkie.
Once you go down that road, it's hard to turn around.
I've turned her into a video game junkie. So I bought the Nintendo Switch because I wanted to play. I was like, okay, this is perfect time to like get a video game and play something. And the problem is I historically am mostly play like sports games. So I'll play Madden, I'll play MLB The Show, whatever. And those are games that my wife would obviously never be interested in. So my strategy was, okay, everybody's talking about this Animal Crossing game. I'm like, I think she could like be into it, and it could be something we can like play together and, you know, sit on the couch and pass a few hours, and like I won't have to worry about feeling guilty that I'm playing video games and I'm not like paying attention to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is, she took to it like a duck to water.
It's a lot of, that seems to be the popular. That seems to be the video game of
quarantine. Yeah. And honestly, it's been awesome, a lot of fun. I just think I'm never going back to the other.
Right.
Like I'm never going back.
Yeah, I could see that being a.
Like it's her Nintendo Switch now. It's not. It is no longer mine.
That's funny. Maybe I should get one of these things.
I think you would actually like it, especially if you're, you know, same thing. You're playing like your method of choice is your iPad games with your daughter, right?
Right.
Like, I'm sure there's some games.
Oh no, she's already talked about Switch. She's aware of it. I don't know if she's aware of like Animal Crossing, but I get pretty competitive. I don't know about you. I get pretty competitive. And sometimes I'm not fun to play with.
Well, like this game is not like a competing against each other game.
Okay.
Like we're like sharing our building of this imaginary island. Or
okay.
whatever.
All right.
So like there's not a winner and a loser in this game, really.
I've definitely made my daughter cry playing like paintball against her.
So like there wouldn't be any of that.
Like I target her. Like I just.
But you know what it would be? It would be like you said the other day, where she went to sleep and Daddy messes up her game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like she goes to sleep. You do all this stuff without her knowing. She comes back. The island's completely different.
Right.
And she flips out. That's what it would be.
The funniest thing lately is. You know, at night, my wife and I will, you know, we get a little high while watching some shows, and occasionally, you know, midnight rolls around. My daughter will wake up and she'll kind of come find us, right? Mm-hmm. And she comes out and like, you know, I got a bong out on the table, and it's, she sees it all the time. She has no clue what it is, but she sees remnants of a cake that we made.
Oh, now that's what she gets upset about.
I'd never seen her so upset. It's, you know, she's sleepy. She's got that little kid, you know, sleepy, drowsy look on her face. And she's like, what happened to the cake? And Mom and Dad are just high as shit looking at her like, we ate the cake, sweetheart. And she was just like, oh. I said, we'll make another cake in the morning. And she's like, okay. I picked her up and I brought her to but yeah, she's like, what happened to the cake?
That's really funny. But so what are the good things that you have?
It's a good question. I guess, you know, it is good to have like this kind of time, just the four of us. You know, if I had teenage kids, probably wouldn't be as good. Because they probably hate me.
I imagine that would be a nightmare.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, so like most parents will say like, you know, kind of the early years, like I'd say, you know, any time under 10 years old is a lot of the best years. So the fact that, you know, we can just really, you know, hunker down, just the four of us, I guess is really good. And it has like helped like just being able to like teach, because we're doing a lot of homeschooling now. I find my kids are learning.
How's that?
Way better. I mean, my wife is doing like a fantastic job of, you know, following all of the teacher provided, you know, work assignments and stuff like that. Turns out I don't think a lot of parents are actually doing this for whatever reason. I always equate it to like just shitty parenting, but my wife was, you know, first to jump and say, hey, you know, these parents might be working, you know, some of them actually might have to go to work, you know, might be a grandma taking care of them and they don't know how to work an iPad, or, you know what I mean? A bunch of different reasons. But
yeah,
you know,
your wife's nice.
Yeah. These shit parents. But yeah, like she's been doing a fantastic job of, you know, teaching the kids and stuff. And then having my oldest daughter home with my youngest daughter's picking up so much, like her vocabulary has gone through the roof. So just getting, you know, being around like that and just one-on-one work, I think has benefited the kids pretty significantly, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. It's good. I don't know. That's probably the good. I don't think anything for me is necessarily good. Like I like getting out. I like
You're like everything I
love is taken away from me. Basically, I can't watch basketball. They put out a Jordan documentary in the height of quarantine just to spit in my face. I can't go and do anything. Like we had concerts, we had concerts lined up for the spring. I'd purchased two sets of, two different concerts already with plans to doing some more. I can't do any of those now. I guess, it's fine. I could go back though. We can open up again. I think it's fine. just inject some bleach and you'll be good to go.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it's fine though. I do like being around my family this much. A lot of people probably may or may not. I am seeing a ton of I have a coworker who literally, I don't know if I mentioned this before, literally was in the midst of getting a divorce with his wife and then was about to move out and then lockdown happened. Now he can't move out of his house. Like
Wayne Brady.
Exactly. That to me is the worst. So I could see a lot of if your relationship wasn't fairly solid, this is probably not doing any good for it, I would imagine. That's probably not fun for a lot of people, I would say. But yeah, just, we're pretty tight. Don't get me wrong. My wife and I, it's never perfect, but we get pretty good foundation, I would say. So it's been pretty good. Plus, the kids and just hanging out with them. It's not bad. It's pretty good. And it's definitely a moment in time that will be always remembered. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So that's it. In that sense, it's good.
Interesting.
But that's it. Mostly bad things, though, I would say, overall. Mostly awful things.
I don't know.
Not you, though. Not you.
No,
you got switches, you got Babe Ruths, you got, it's all sorts of fun stuff for you.
I'm fucking loving it.
You're losing weight. Your knees are intact.
No, I am not losing weight. I'm gaining weight. I've just lost from the gain.
Oh, okay.
I've lost from the peak. I believe they're talking about this. They're saying it's the peak, the apex of the coronavirus fatness. Now we've hit the apex. We went straight up parabolically. We are now leveling off, and hopefully at some point we'll be coming back down on the other side of this fat curve.
I'm gonna eat that dead cat. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Oh man! All right, that's going to do it for us. And what else you got? Anything?
Nothing. I got nothing else.
We will have a guest next week.
We will have a guest next week. Do you want to let them know? I think we're gonna have Sherpa, Shitcoin Sherpa to be more specific. He's got his show. This is Crypto with Sherpa, I believe is what it's called. Yeah. He's on coinhq.tv. If you want to check out his show, he just started up, I want to say 2 months ago. So he, he's a big figure on CT. So we're going to have him on. We're going to talk about his show, what he's doing over there, all that fun stuff.
Sweet. Sounds good. And that's going to do it for us. And until next time, don't get wrecked. And that is financial advice.